Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to today's webinar on data management best practices for Atlassian tools. I'm delighted to see many of you right here joining us today for what promises to be an insightful session focused on maximizing the value of your Atlassian data. So before we dive into our fantastic lineup, which are already ready next to me, let me briefly address a fundamental question. What is data management? Data management in the Atlassian ecosystem encompasses the systematic organization, storage, security, and governance of your organization's information assets. This requires managing properly the security, the enterprise information, and following that train of thought, 3 worldwide companies bring a common solution for data management, offering professionals a system administrators actionable insights to elevate their practices by doing this and following these presentations and these use cases. Now, let me introduce our outstanding speakers and their presentations. First up, we have JK, who will share valuable insights about user group data management through the open source consulting company. So hello, JK. Then after JK, we're honored to have Christina from Git Protect by 𝗧𝗸𝘆𝘀 with her presentation, Securing the Foundation, Data Security in Modern Data Management. And the third presenter is Claudia from Deiser with her presentation, Building Bridges, Harnessing Jira Metadata Exports for Data Governance Success. After these presentations, we'll open the floor for a Q&A session. So don't hesitate to enter your questions and we will answer them live after the presentation. This will bring you an opportunity to engage directly with the experts, and get the answers to your specific data management challenges. Each presentation will run approximately for 15 minutes, giving us plenty of time to explore these topics while keeping the session focused and engaging. So without further ado, let me hand over to our first speaker, JK, to discuss the user and group data management. JK, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. It is a pleasure to meet you today. I'm excited to begin my presentation on effective user and group data management. Okay. Before diving into the details, allow me to introduce myself. My name is J.K. Park, and I'm working in the sales division at Open Source Consulting. Open Source Consulting is an Atlassian Platinum partner and a marketplace partner. We provide consulting services based on our technical expertise. Open Source Consulting is the first Atlassian partner in Korea to earn the cloud specialization. And we are honored as the Atlassian Partner of the Year twice for our outstanding contribution and achievement. And we are sponsoring the Atlassian community in Seoul. We are also transforming this experience into apps designed to boost productivity for Atlassian users and administrators. Today, my presentation is organized around the 3 main topics. First, key challenges. I'll explore the common issues that arise when managing large volume of user and group data. Second, why effective management is crucial. I will discuss the importance of maintaining accurate user and group data and the benefit that come from doing so. Third, solutions for simplifying administration. I will introduce the various methods and tools that can make the administration of user and group data easier and more efficient. Let's now delve into each of these topics. Let me begin with an example scenario. Imagine you are working as the Atlassian administrator at a company that is currently handling an SI project. For a new project, the company decides to bring in external contractors, and you receive the request to invite external accounts to both Jira and Confluence. However, you encounter several challenges. Unfortunately, Atlassian does not allow you to invite many users at once. What this means is that you must manually copy and paste each email address from an Excel file to send out invitations. This process is not only boring, but also prone to errors. And just when you think you are done, you hit a roadblock. The licenses are maxed out, and you cannot add any more users. So you have to go through the list in directory, find accounts of people who have left the company or aren't using the products, and free up some licenses. And to properly assign the permissions for the new project, you also need to set up a cross-matrix group that includes both internal staff and external contractors. To move a group, you need to create a new group, extract the list user, and manually add each account to the group. In this scenario, it's clear that as an administrator, you face multiple issues in managing user and group data effectively. Now, let's discuss why managing user and group data is so important and what benefit it brings. Security. Atlassian products control access by assigning user to groups that has specific license permissions. Moreover, precise permission within products like Jira and Confluence are also governed by this group. If your data is not accurately managed, this is a risk that former employees or unauthorized external user might gain access to sensitive information. Optimizing costs. For any organization, return on investment, ROI, is a critical factor. And one way to support ROI through cost optimization. Since the cost of Atlassian license increased with the number of users, reducing unnecessary user account directly helps to minimize those expenses. This makes efficient license management a priority for decision makers. Operational efficiency. Effective management of user and group data greatly reduced the administrative burden. By automating repetitive tasks, administrator can save value, time, and focus on more critical work. Okay, let's now explore some practical solutions that can help simplify the management of user and group data. Atlassian Cloud provides a built-in directory feature that allows you to add, delete, and modify user and group data directly within the admin page. Through this directory, you can also assign product licensing permission to group. If your organization uses an external directory, you might consider using the guard. Guard pulls in data from your external directory and provides functionalities for managing it within your Atlassian environment. It supports several IDP, including Google Workspace, Microsoft Azure AD, Okta. And when you need to add a large number of new user and group, the flexible bulk user import is a valuable tool. This application enables to upload a CSV or Excel file that contain the definition for user account and group. After the mapping process is complete, the app added all the user and group data in the single operation. And you can check the log also. Another useful feature is provided by the Flexible User License Management app, which automatically deactivates users who have been inactive for a specific period. Setting this up is simple. Within the app's setting, you enter an inactive period, for example, 30 days. Once configured, the app will automatically scan for inactive user every day and deactivate anyone who hasn't been active for 30 days. Ensure that you are not wasting license on dormant accounts. Additionally, the app offers functionality that let you search for user and management licensing, the adding and removing licensing for multiple users at once. Tools such as a flexible user license app and a bulk user import app also facilitate the merging of multiple groups. By using the app interface, you can create a new group and then it's created. And then select the individual groups who users need to be combined. And you can merge the users to the new groups at once. So, in conclusion, effective management of user and group data is functionally fundamental not only for maintaining system security and optimizing license cost, but also for ensuring that administrative tasks are efficient and that valuable resources can be allocated where they matter most. I hope that the tools and strategies discussed today will help you overcome the various challenges you might face in your roles and enable you to manage your Atlassian environment more efficiently. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, JK. That was a great presentation. Now, moving on with this webinar, it's Christina's turn. She is from Git Protect, and her presentation will be about data security, modern data management. Again, Christina, the floor is absolutely yours. And if you want to turn on the camera, that would be great for everyone to see you. I believe. Thank you very much. Your turn now.
Yeah, but you can hear me, right?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, just a second.
Yeah, don't worry. Maybe we can do it while you do the presentation. Maybe we can, I don't know if there's a way to turn on the camera.
Yeah, just a second.
Yes, don't worry.
You should. I cannot turn. Oh,
There you go. That's it.
sorry for that.
So everyone, Christina from Get Protect with her presentation.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Christina. I'm a partner manager at Git Protect, and today we will cover the data security in modern data management. So we will cover this topic from the secure point of view. So I am from 𝗧𝗸𝘀𝘆𝘀. 𝗧𝗸𝘀𝘆𝘀 is a company which is on the market for more than 15 years. And today we will be mostly talking about our product, which is Git Protect. And Git Protect was released around 2 years ago. And in those 2 years, we have protected more than 1 million of repos and organizations. And of course, we have clients all over the world in 60 countries of the world. And by the way, today, my colleague Marcin is here with me. So in case you have any questions, you can type them in chat and he will be able to answer them during my presentation or after all of the presentations. So just to visualize everything I have said about our company, when we talk about 𝗧𝗸𝘀𝘀𝘆 as a company, we are backing up a lot of endpoints, virtual machines, databases. But when we talk about Git Protect as a product of 𝗧𝗸𝘀𝘀𝘆, we talk about the backup of DevOps platforms. Backup and data recovery of DevOps platforms like GitHub, GitLab, Azure DevOps, Jira, and Bitbucket. And Confluence is coming. But today we are in Atlassian event, so we will be talking mostly about Jira. A few more words about us. We have a lot of customers all over the world, from Fortune 500 companies as well. But our customers are those who really care about their data and about the security of their data. So why is it important to back up your data, and why overall the data protection in Atlassian Cloud is a hot topic today? Because we know that Atlassian is moving from DC to cloud versions, and when the data is stored in cloud, this is actually the responsibility of the company, not of the service provider. And in some way, Atlassian saves your data, but it's not in the way you can easily restore it. And if your data is protected, it means that your business is protected overall, and you will have to spend your time in the most effective way, like not to spend your time for any issues like data loss and stuff like that. The second reason why this is a hot topic, because of the shared responsibility model, which is offered by Atlassian, and not only by Atlassian, by a lot of SaaS platforms. So what is it about? Simply, we share the responsibility. So on the one hand, Atlassian is responsible for your system, for hosting, for application, but you as a customer, you are responsible for marketplace apps, for users, for policy and compliance, and of course, for your data. And as far as I know from the partners, customers, usually they don't know about that. Like they think that if you are with Atlassian, you are all protected and you will be able to restore your data easily. It's not like that, because this is just a screenshot from the Atlassian shared responsibility model, and it's written very clearly that your role is to create the backups of your data. Just to summarize the shared responsibility model, Atlassian is saying that we are on the same team, we are working hard, we have a lot of developers who are trying to secure your data, but we need your help in order to make this secure in the most effective way. And the Atlassian approach to the resilience is the following. So they can provide you with a backup, but this backup, they are not used to revert the customer initiate destructive changes. And under those changes, we mean something like overwriting something, deleting something, like issues, projects, and sites. So in order to avoid that, Atlassian recommends you to take the regular backup of your data. The third reason why is it important to back up your data right now, it's because of compliance and different rules. For example, DORA, which is Digital Operation Resilience Act, it entered into force a month ago in Europe. And according to that, all of the financial institutions in Europe, like financial entities, banks, investment firms, insurance companies, they are like obliged to back up their data. And it's like a rule, it's mandatory for them. So now the question is, do we really need to back up our Jira? And I think that the answers to this question will be yes. Of course, because there is a lot of threats in the world, like, for example, external threats like ransomware attacks, hacker attacks. A very common case when someone is deleting something by accident or intentionally. It's like 80% of our cases of our customers. AI, I will explain in the next slide why did we include AI as a threat to your security, data security in today's world. Natural disasters, it sounds to be maybe unrealistic today, but there is examples like, for example, the company which is called 𝗧𝗸𝘀𝘆𝘀, the storage provider, they were on fire a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, and actually their data center burned in Strasbourg. So it's a real case and it's also the threat. Something can go down, in our case, Atlassian as a service can go down, and that's also the issue for us. And legal and compliance, I don't think it's like a real threat, but it's something which has to be done. So that's why it's among the threats. So talking about the external threat, if you take a look at this graph, you will see this is a number of incidents which happened to Jira, and this is, by the way, the official information of Atlassian, and this information is from the report which was done by our marketing team. So if you take a look at this graph, you will see that this number is rising every year. And like for me, very important is this number. So if you compare this year, I mean 2024, and the previous one, you will see that the number of those incidents has risen to 45%. And of course, some of them had major impact, some of them had minor, but still they are happening, and we have to face it and to be prepared for that. Also, AI, why did we include AI as a threat? Because, of course, we are using it on our daily basis, and it's making our job more effectively. But in order to make the slide, we have analyzed a lot of reports by the security specialists on AI, and they all told that right now, because of AI, your company doesn't have to be among Fortune 500. You can be just some kind of a mid-sized business, and you might be under attack because of AI, because those attacks, they will be automated by AI. So right now, the rules of the game are changing, and you have to be prepared for that as well. Talking about something like service can go down, I don't like this slide because I like Atlassian, but Atlassian went down a couple of years ago. Around 800 of the customers, they didn't have the access to their Jira for around 2 weeks. And to be honest, when I talk to developers who are using any of Atlassian products like Jira or Confluence or Bitbucket, like I ask them, how many days can you operate if your Jira is down? And the answer is, in the most of the cases, the 0, because it's impossible, right? So in this case, let's count how much it will cost to your company if your Jira is down and your developers are not working, and you will have to send them for paid leave. Yeah, just a couple of more examples when Atlassian went down, even last year. And compliance requirements, if any of your customers is looking for any of those certifications like SOC 2, Type 2, it's mandatory to provide the regular backup of your data and the test of your data recovery. So we believe that it's always better to be prepared for the disaster than to face it. So that's why there is a couple of ways to back up your Atlassian cloud. Of course, you can use the native Jira backup provided by Atlassian, but it has kind of restrictions. It's fully manual process. It has some restrictions in terms of data files inside this, in terms of formats. Also, it doesn't provide you with granular restore, and there is some restrictions in terms like how often this backup can be made in terms of attachment, avatars, and logs. Also, you can create your own backup. You can script it, but you need to have technical skills, and again, it's your time, it's your resources. Or you can use the Atlassian Marketplace apps. And when we are talking about the Atlassian Marketplace apps, we believe that you can use the experience of the people who are working in, for example, cybersecurity sector, like our company in the last 15 years. And overall, it will give you the best practices in terms of data recovery and backup. And we believe that overall, it will be cost effective for your company to use other solutions. So how does it work in our case? You are adding your organization, then you are choosing what you would like to protect. In our case, it might be Jira Service Management, and Jira Software. Then Bitbucket and Confluence is coming as well. Then you can choose how to run your backup, like the schedule, because we are flexible in that. You can even run your backup 3 times per day. And then backup is more or less understandable and let's call it easier. But when we talk about data recovery, it's much more complicated. But with our solution, you have a chance to recover your data from cloud to cloud, from cloud to your local machine. Then you have the option to have the disaster recovery, like when everything is down, you are not down, you will be able to recover your whole Jira instance. And also you have the granular restore. For example, you don't want to recover everything. For example, some junior Jira admin has deleted number of projects which you would like to recover. You can do that just to choose like what is important for you. Also, we have the non-user recovery option, which means that it's a very common practice when there is mergers and acquisitions of the companies. For example, you want to like integrate to Jira's, and you have number of users which don't have to be in the new Jira instance. So you just choose users which have to be exported. And also we have point in time restore. So when we are talking about restoring your data, for example, you had the incidents, some incident on Wednesday, you can choose that you would like to restore your data starting from Tuesday, like the day before. So you can choose, it's also very flexible. And then when we are talking about where to export your data, you can export it to the new or the same Jira account, or you can export it to your device on-prem version. When we talk about the data migration and management, with our solution, you don't have to worry about any loss or disruption of your data, because we are not overwriting your repos, we are just recreating them. So here you have the option of, as I told, disaster recovery and granular restore, and then you can migrate from one cloud instance to another. And with our solution, you can do that regardless your location. So for example, in one case, you are using geographical data location in Europe, in other case it's in the US. So with our solution, it's not a big deal to migrate in between those 2 locations. And of course, you can migrate the data from the sandbox to production. So I think it's almost the last slide of my presentation. I think I'm doing good in 15 minutes. So those are the Jira backup and restore best practices with our solution. So how do we see that? First of all, this is a no-code implementation. You don't need to hire additional people to do your backups. It's easy. Like, we believe it has to be understandable for everybody. Then when we talk about the schedules of your backup, of course, it can be auto backup, but we recommend you to choose how you want to back up your data, when, like how many times per day. It's all up to you. Then when we talk about the backup, of course, like the first one will be the full one. Then you can just add the incremental backup and differential backup. You don't have to check everything all the time. You will just get alerting via Slack or email just to know what's going on. Of course, you can grant additional admin accounts and, to trust your backup to the trusted people. When we talk about the storages, you can choose multiple storages in use, meaning that if you're using our solution, you are getting our own storage, which is free and which is unlimited. And it goes like a bundle with a product, so you can use this one. If not, you can use other storages like a Google Cloud, AWS, and Azure, like number of other storages which you can choose from. Then you will be getting your monitoring SLA report. Then, as I told you, are getting the option of disaster recovery and granular restore, and of course, cross recovery between cloud Jira instances. And the last but not least, you are getting the real and ransomware protection, because our product comes from the pure cybersecurity industry. And when we are talking about your backup, your data will be encrypted, your data will be unchangeable, your data will be in the unreadable format. So basically, when our customers is asking, like, when we are doing backup with you, who have the access to our, like, do you see our data? Who can see that? The answer to the question is no, like, we don't, and even you don't see your data as well. So according to Gartner, by 2028, like in the next couple of years, 75% of the enterprises, they will prioritize their backup of their SaaS platforms, and right now is only 15%, but we see that it's rising every year, and we think that those guys from the enterprise level, they know why is it so important to back up your data and to secure your data. So let's follow the best practices. So this is it from my side, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Christina. That was super insightful. And remember that data security is really, really important in the Atlassian ecosystem. So thank you again, Christina. That was really cool. So now, for our third presentation, we are really pleased to present Deiser's own Claudia Cornet, who will be presenting Jira metadata exports for data governance success. Claudia, again, the floor, the screen of the webinar is yours.
Thank you very much. You can see my presentation, I believe. Yeah.
Yes,
Can you,
everything is correct.
everything is correct? Can
Yeah.
you see the full
No,
screen? No.
no. There we go. Yes. Maybe if you
No.
maximize it, there you go. That's the full screen. That's
No,
it.
you can see one like this. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much, Fede, and thanks to my previous colleagues, Christine and JK. So just to continue with the webinar on how to transform enterprise data management, let's talk about Exporter. Exporter is going to be the solution I'm going to introduce for you now, just for you to know a little bit more about who we are. We are Deiser. We've been in the ecosystem for over 10 years, and we're both Platinum Solution Partner and Platinum Marketplace Partner. And I believe then when we're talking about data, your Jira information, your Jira data, you want to be working with experts and with people who are to be trusted, because they've been running in the ecosystem for many years and with approved with one of those badges that Atlassian gives to their trusted partners. So as I said, we're both Platinum Solution Partner and Marketplace Partner. And we have 3 different solutions in the marketplace. One is Exporter, that I'm going to go through a little bit later. Also, we have Budgety, if you need to track your budgets and costs in Jira, and Project Track for project management. If you need a tool that allows you to track your projects in Jira. So as we were talking about how to harness your Jira metadata exports for data governance success, this is very important for data quality management to ensure that data is as its best and at its highest quality. Also, data integration and interoperability to reduce silos, and auditability and transparency that allow for audit purposes. So this is why Exporter is the best tool that you're going to be using, and the benefits of it is an improved decision make. It's to get better decisions with the best data that you have been able to harness from Jira. It also complies with regulatory processes. Also, operational efficiency and enhanced trust. And it's very important to note that Exporter is cloud fortified, which gives an extra, it's a badge that Atlassian gives to those solutions that are to be trusted with your data. So again, it's an extra layer of trust. So let me tell you a story first. We know how important it is, as we've seen before, to harness that data in the best way and with experts. But let me tell you a story about Tim, who is a Big 4 auditor, and he's very happy in this picture, but he's going to be in trouble very soon because, sorry, I'm going to take this down. Jira doesn't, he needs to, his boss has requested him to build a big report for one of their top clients, and he needs to export lots of data and metadata from Jira. And he can't do that because Jira doesn't export the work items history or the export comments. It has a limit when it comes to exporting over 1,000 issues, and it doesn't export the approval status. So Tim is in a bit of trouble. Here's what he's in his Jira, and he needs to export the approved information from those work items, and he doesn't know how to do it, and that's requested information from his boss to do this audit correctly. So the solution is Exporter, because it's the solution that's going to allow him to do all of this. And so just so you know, he's in a bit of time constraint. He's in time constraint because he needs to deliver these very quickly the following morning. And so it's very simple to use Exporter. So once you go into the marketplace and you download it, you will find it in your apps tab, as you can see there on the top right-hand side of your screen. And once you click there, you will find you can export your work items from filter or customize them or from the issue page, and from there you can search issues. So once you've chosen the desired method in which you want to export your work items in Jira, you will be presented with this model. This is the one that we're showing, just the one that's presented when you choose to export your issues from filter, in case you have such a big amount of issues that you want to do it this way. And you can export it for both in Excel or CSV. And it's very important to note that you can export it immediately, or you can schedule the export to receive it later. You will decide in which day you want to receive it. And every, let's say, Monday at 9 a.m., you will get your export in your email for you and for those of the people in your team that need to receive this information. In case that's something you need, team, it's going to export it straight away because he needs it now. And so once he does that, it's very quick. Even if you have a huge amount of issues, you don't need to worry. Some clients ask us, but it's fine. It's not going to take long at all. And we've improved actually the speed of it. And if you choose, like Tim did, to view the information in an Excel spreadsheet, you will find each issue in one row, and all the information of those work items in different columns. And Tim really needs to be able to view the information in a very clean and quick way. So he's very happy once he sees this. So as you can see in green, we will have the main information like summary, story points, status, and parent key. With a purple header, we have all the comments information. Each comment goes in a separate row. So by the date, the author of the comment, also very important, the comment security. You can decide if you want to export the public comments or not. And also, within the Excel, you can filter. So let's say you only want, or you don't want to, the private comments you don't want to be seen, you can filter that. And you also get the whole comment, the actual comment. So for audit purposes, it's very interesting because all this information is going to get exported, and then with a new header, with the blue header, you're going to get all the information of transitions, the transition user, in which date was it made, the initial status of this work item, the the initial status date, the time in which the initial status, in which state in this initial status, the final status. So all this, it's very good if you want to, later on I will explain that you can, we're integrated with BI tools, so you can have lots of information about how, in this case for team, to know how long is it taking for them to go through a work item workflow. And finally, the approvals information. Again, very important. You have the approval outcome, the outcome date, the approvers involved, and the approver decision. So in this case, you have, for example, in the first one, you have an approved outcome, but, oh, sorry, just 1 second, because I have, yeah, so both Rachel and Charles approved the decision, but in the second approval decision, we have a declined one, and we see that somebody declined it. So the final, and you can see who declined this decision. So every information is going to be shown. Also, here you can see in the highlighted area, the JQL that was used in order to get the information. And as you can see, we've exported over 3,000 work items, meaning that you can exceed that Jira limitation of 1,000 work items. So exporter, and as you can see, team is so happy because it exported it to Excel. It also could be exported to CSV, exports over that limitation of 1,000 issues. It exports all transitions, approvals, comments, everything very well, explaining in different headers with different color headers. And you can schedule exports and get notified by email when your exportation is ready. So the main takeaways, if you need to harness data and metadata from Jira, is using Exporter. You can export all those items. It's plug and play. You don't waste time by configuring different templates. You just get the information clean and quickly into your desired format. You can schedule that information, as I was saying before, and you can use this data to integrate with BI tools. Here, what we can see is the history of transition of the exports for an extra layer of auditing purposes. So you can see who exported which information, who downloaded it, who didn't download it yet, the status. So everything is going to be stored in the history of Exporter. And here, as you can see, if you need, as I said before, to integrate with your third-party tools, either BI or any other type. This is the API key ID and the API key that you're going to be using. Here is the model that will open. It's so easy to do, and you can benefit a lot from this. And thank you very much. Regarding the questions, also, I can be answering them, and also Fede, who is also the host, but he's also our technical expert for Exporter today. So either of us, it's going to be happy to answer. And back to you, Fede.
Thank you very much, Claudia. That was a really cool presentation. So that's all for the presentations of this webinar. So now it's turn for the Q&A. And we have a few questions right here lined up for each of our presenters. And we're starting with JK from Open Source Consulting. We have a question right here, and it's, what are the benefits of using flexible users license?
Okay, if you're using flexible user license, it will be make your work free, because it will automatically deactivate the unused users. So you can focus on the more critical tasks.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you very much for that answer. And now we're moving to Christina from Git Protect IO. The question is, can I restore just selected items from my Jira, like projects or issues?
Yeah, but I cannot turn on my item.
There you go. It takes a little bit. It takes a few seconds. It makes you nervous, but it takes a few seconds.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course, because our product it gives you the opportunity of disaster recovery and granular restore. So in case everything is bad, really bad, you can recover your whole Jira instance. But in case you wanna recover only something specific, like I don't know, items, projects, users, you can do that. And by the way, in the new release of our app, which is coming, I think next Monday, so in a few days, you will be also able to backup assets. And in the next one, you will be able to backup automations.
Nice.
So yes.
Perfect. That's really good. That's really nice. Perfect. Maybe you can leave the camera on, because I have another question for you for later, because now I'm gonna ask Claudia, because we have a question right here. Can I export as many issues as I want?
Sure. Yeah, there is no
We'll
limit.
export them. There is no limit, right?
There is no limit. And you can export them smoothly, quickly. We've just recently launched a new version for the cloud for Exporter to even get those exports faster and smoother. So yeah, there's no limitation of issues or work items.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you very much. And now coming back to JK. JK, what user tier should the users buy for flexible user license? Since it's a flexible user license thing, what tier should they approach?
Okay, you can purchase the flexible user license in your current tier, and we usually recommend covering 20 to 30% of Atlassian license user tier. It should be considered based on the number of actual user, so it's a depend on the actual the company's situation. Yeah. For example, if the number of user of Confluence is 500, you should purchase the same user tier of a flexible user license also. And then it covered from 600 user to 650 users. So you can check which user tier is suitable for your plan based on the Atlassian actual user license.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you very much. And now back to Christina. We have another question that it says, taking into account the number of backup solutions available in the marketplace, because the marketplace is a big place, it's a big place where you can get a lot of apps. Can you explain, what differentiates your solution from others?
Yeah, I think like the main reason is that our solution, it comes from the pure cybersecurity company, and we are about security first. And we are the only vendor who has both SOC 2 Type 2 certificate and ISO 27001. So I know for many customers, it's important to have at least one certification, but we have both. So I think that the first reason. The second one, we really provide with a disaster recovery, like real disaster. So that's the second. And I think like maybe the third issue will be the fact that we provide you with unlimited storage, and it's free, and unlimited data retention. So if you are our client, your data will be with us unlimitedly, not for like 3 months or a year. And that's I think that's our like kind of comparative advantage. And also I think maybe the fact that like our solution is pretty flexible. So when we talk about the backup, it's not like just automated. You can choose like how do you want to backup your data. When, for example, you want to backup your data every day after the working hours at 5 p.m., you can do that. So like maybe Marcin can help me, maybe something else is on your mind, maybe more from technical point of view, but that's what I believe really differentiates us.
Cool. So, Marcin,
Well, I think Christina pinpointed the answer right away. I think that one advantage that we got to offer is that you can consider us as a complete package. You are getting The storage is included, all of the security options like immutable storage, like encryption, like data stored in unexecutable and unreadable format. So even if by any chance you forget to turn your encryption on, the data still, even if it's compromised, it's unusable for any bad actor that get their hands on them. You are getting the full solution with all flexibilities like scheduling plans, adding your own storage in case you want to use that. We know for some companies it might be crucial because of certain compliance that they have to be in control of the location of their backups. So everything, all of the best practices that Christina was highlighting in our presentation, they are available for you to use, and it's simply up to you to decide which of those features you want to combine, how you want to complete your perfect mix for your actual backup solution and your backup strategy.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Marcin and Christina. That was really a really good answer. So now the last question comes for Deiser and Exporter. So Claudia, does Exporter for Jira also export Jira Service Management fields such as SLAs?
I believe so, yes.
Yes. It does. It does. The solution is compatible with Jira Service Management fields,
Yes.
Ensuring that everything is exportable, that you can export those fields and ensuring a seamless experience throughout the entire Atlassian tools, the entire Atlassian suite in Jira. So that's pretty much it from what we have prepared for you people, in this webinar. So again, thank you very much to the attendees for the questions. And I believe we have one last question, one last quick question for Git Protect, which says, which cloud is used for storage, and can you specify the region of where this is stored? I believe that Marcin, you already marked it as you wanted to answer this question.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely, no problem with that. So 𝗧 Cloud Storage, so our bundle storage offer we are giving, it's based on Wasabi S3. And yes, absolutely, you've got a choice of data residency. So by default, it is typically linked to the location of your organization you are backing up. So if your Jira is stored in Europe, you will be automatically kind of connected to 𝗧 Cloud in EMEA region. We've got 3 locations available, EMEA, United States, and Australia. So all major geographical regions are covered. Of course, in case you would require, for example, a migration of your location, we can do that as well later on. For example, or we can arrange for a second location, for example, in case you need to cover your company's branches, let's call it, in different countries, for example.
Perfect. Nice. That's pretty good. And is there any more questions? I believe no. That's a thank you from D'Amica de Silva. Thank you very much, D'Amica, for your question too. So yes, now and again, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for the attendees for being here. Thank you very much for the presenters and your presentations and your availability to do this webinar, and hope to see you soon again. And again, remember about the promotions that Claudia mentioned. Remember about the solutions that Christina and JK presented too, and also Claudia. And again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us throughout our social media. We have emails. You will be sent an email in order to remind you that if you have any questions, we're here to answer. And again, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.